Good evening, welcome to the Dugout. And even though we thought we'll get into the India versus England test series and really start looking at England squad, India squad, but then we have many days to do that. Today it is the 6th, the first test match is on the 20th, so we'll have many days to do that. But meanwhile, the RCB story is snowballing into a major controversy. Of course, it all started with the deaths that have happened, and that's why it had to become national news. But now every day new details are emerging. Now arrests have been done. So this is a very big story. It involves an IPL franchise, big players. So this is also a story that we cannot ignore. So we thought our Dugout, as it was dedicated to this tragedy yesterday, will be today as well, because we really want to get to the bottom of it. The reason why we need to get to the bottom of it is that such celebrations will happen in the future, and you cannot afford to have another tragedy like this. So you really need to get to the bottom of the matter as to where the problem lies, so that those things don't happen in the future, and fans who have all the right to celebrate get their celebrations. So before we dive into the debate, and as always I can preempt that we will agree to disagree as we go along, but that's what is the beauty of a democracy, and ours is a very democratic space. But before we get into the debate, I want to know what are the latest developments that have happened in the case.
Okay, so the latest development which we found out in the morning is that Nikhil Sosale, who is the marketing head of RCB and also is has a big position in Diageo, he has been arrested in connection to what has happened yesterday at the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Was he trying to flee, or was
he was going to Mumbai, but he was arrested at Bengaluru airport. There is no mention of flee or anything. He was just caught at Bengaluru airport and he's been arrested. Along with it, 3 other executives and officials who were part of DNA Entertainment, the one who had organized the parade, even they have been arrested. Event managers. 2 KSCA officials have also been booked, but they are absconding. The police went to their home, but they have not found them, so they are absconding at this point. Treasurer. Yeah. Yes. Now, Nikhil Sosale, when you look at it, there is a very interesting thing.
Who is he? Because I don't know.
You would have seen him
other than my name. He's my namesake.
Yes.
It's one of those rare days when I'm not proud of my name.
He actually would have seen him in the RCB dugout and in all the other corporate boxes where he was there. Corporate boxes where RCB...
So much he's at such a high post that he's in the dugout.
He's never in the dugout.
In the corporate boxes. In the corporate boxes that are there.
Sangakara, where does he sit?
He sits in the... So he's at a post equivalent
there's so many people there. Influencers who are sitting there.
Corporate.
However...
Family boxes basically.
He did become viral during the RCB LSG game. He wasn't the main thing, his wife was. Because when Rishabh Pant did that celebration after reaching that flip, cameras had panned, she was sitting next to Anushka Sharma. She called him...
Her wife? Oh,
yes.
She's the one.
She's the wife of this person.
That I thought was very arrogant, by the way.
Who all throughout the tournament was there with Anushka.
Yes.
They used to
I don't know. I didn't know she's the connection, but this was rather arrogant to say about somebody else's celebration.
Exactly.
I mean, if that man had got 100,
we should also be saying such stuff about celebrations. That's exactly what we should be doing.
That was rather arrogant.
Well, celebrations have become...
at times feel that, at times people do not have the real celebrities don't have that much attitude as much as the people who are with them have it.
Yeah.
This I've seen with lots of people.
The managers. Bollywood stars you've seen.
Yeah.
More than the Bollywood stars, the managers.
PAs, friends.
Yep.
All of them have lots of attitude.
So it is that individual who now is saying that my arrest is illegal. That is also the update that we have gotten.
He's also been arrested.
No. Okay.
Nikhil is saying
my arrest is illegal. That has also been there at that point in time when we are doing the dugout. So this is how the chain of events has occurred. Accountability has been sought for, but the blame game is continuing.
So what is the question we are asking?
Now, in this dugout, we are asking one basic question. After officials from the event company and also RCB's one top official has been arrested, should players now be scrutinized? Should players now be the focus? Because there is a lot of, I don't know, the trends that are going on the social media, very illogical trends are going on, that players should be held accountable and players should be all that.
Just adding to this, the number one trend on X currently is arrest
Kohli. Yes, I was about to get that also.
Yes.
But yeah, that is trending on social media.
But my point is, on what basis do you charge someone?
See, obviously I wasn't here for the last couple of days, but I was going through
What is his role in the deaths of the people?
Yeah.
His role, there is no, see, I'll be very honest, I don't, at the end of the day, we know that the buck at the end of the day stops at the government, because at the end of the day, the police is run by the government over there. It's not Delhi where the center is running the police, right? So at the end of the day, it's the government
State
who needs to be called out. The only thing over here is that I still cannot digest this fact that the players were inside and they had no idea about the fact that something like this has happened outside. And why I'm saying this, because in that, as soon as that final got over, Virat Kohli, within minutes that you give the interviews to the host broadcasters, right? As soon as the game is over on the field, even before, in fact, you go back to the change room. At that moment, as soon as you get your phones, at that time he was heard talking to Jatin Sapru, where he said that it looks like that Bengaluru Diwali has been celebrated over there. So my only point over here is that when I agree that jammers and all of these things, so jammers would have been there in Ahmedabad also. I was also there. Jammers were there. Network was an issue. But there, within 10 minutes, you were so active on social media that you know that I'm saying you're not even active on social media. People send you videos, whatever happened. You knew in 10 minutes that in Bengaluru, the celebrations have already started. Within 10 minutes of the game getting over, here the whole thing is happening and you have no idea. I personally cannot believe this.
One question. Firstly, the parallel is not correct. I may know of one story before you on one day because somebody shared it with me. Doesn't mean now every day I need to know the story. Nikhil Sosade got arrested. Maybe I didn't know. I have gotten to know now. He knew in the morning only. But the other day that RCB have planned the celebration, that news I got to know first thing in the morning. Doesn't mean no. Just because he got to know that Bangalore is celebrating, does that in any way relate that he will also know this? That is he a news reporter? So, that no. Is always, it's by chance. There's so many things you get to know at a certain point. I'm just saying that now it is a legal matter. Yeah. Anything that you say has to be backed with proof.
I'm not saying that arrest any player in that.
I'm not saying arrest.
Yeah.
Even I'm just saying even with this. See, because all of this will now be argued in court. In a court, if you put this argument, I'm just saying the judge is going to say it does not mean that X person knew about something on certain day means that they will know something. So, because see, right now it's a serious matter. Everything that we say will have repercussions on a person, whoever that may be, whether it's the policeman, whether it's a chief minister, whether it's a star player, anyone. So, we cannot assume. If you know of certain things, supposing you have valid proof to suggest that he knows, then you can say he knew it, he didn't do it. But you're basing it on that one thing. That's my first.
So see, I'll be very honest. I'm not a lawyer over here, and neither I'm going
not even a lawyer. But I'm saying you're a media person right now.
Yeah, I'm a media person, and I'm at this point of time, I'm just connecting the dots the way I can.
But you just understand. So you are saying you're not ready to believe that is.
Yeah, I'm just connecting the dots.
So what happens with that is everything that you say, then gets into, for example, I'll say, we are media people. That day we said, why is it that Virat Kohli has not spoken about it? Right? Now you are just suggesting what has happened. And sure enough, he had to put a statement soon after that. So everything that you say now...
Who?
Virat Kohli.
He did not, in that sense, statement was from RCB.
That's a technicality. Nietzsche, he wrote, can't believe, loss of
absolutely
word.
Gutted for words.
That's a technicality. I'm saying anything that you say, because you're from the media, will be taken as proof that, see, such and such person is saying that the team Virat knew about it.
That's why I'm just telling you at this point of time, because things are not clear, all I can do is, that's why I started with that also, that this is what I can't believe. You're absolutely right that it's not a certainty that the players would have known about it, but all I'm trying to say is at this point, because there is so much, there is no clarity, all I can do is connect the dots and try to figure out that what are the situations that could have
I gave you an example when I was there yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, I myself did not know it at that time. How many people? I told you, I was live.
The chronology that he explained yesterday.
I was live. We did not know till the time the celebration started. We did not know. All I knew was that people fell unconscious. They've been taken to hospital. It is during the ceremony, once the ceremony was on, while the prayer was happening, one person who I met, she happened to be a member of the Karnataka State Cricket Association, must have been like a daughter or a wife or someone of a member. And she said that, I've just gotten to know, because we were in the VIP area, she said, I've just gotten to know there was a girl who has been taken, she's passed away in the hospital. She said that. This is while the celebration is on. I said, no, I saw that girl being taken. She's like, yeah, the same one. I've heard just now a report from hospital. Maybe the information, as I'm saying, is trickling in while they are there. Maybe that's the reason that ceremony, which was for 2 hours, which we were told was for 2 hours, only happened for 15 minutes. So I'm saying with no point of guarantee I can say that the players knew. And if they were so insensitive, they would have said, forget it. Let us continue with the celebration for 2 hours also. No. Clearly the celebration was cut short. And I'm saying again, any player there, I'm not talking about Virat or anybody. I don't know for certainty. I also find it hard to believe any player will be smiling, laughing, whoever that person is, and going on with the trophy had he known that people have died. I find that very hard to believe. Of course, this will all come out when they will be questioning, people will be asked, how did that decision being taken, however. But I will again go back to it. The crux is now we are looking, because we want to find scapegoats. We are finding that why was X person laughing, not laughing, why was this? That's another thing. Was I smiling or not smiling is another thing. What we need to do is, and everyone needs to do, and I'm sure everyone is, aggrieved and is unhappy and is angry. What you have to do is that why did that event happen?
Yeah.
Why event of not the function?
The Stampede.
The Stampede. So, why did the Stampede happen? That's the reason.
Let us
over there it was the mistake of the seat. There is no second thoughts about
Maybe
it.
somebody might think RCB is at fault. Somebody might think somebody else's fault. You have to get to the crux.
RCB was adamant. That we know, because as soon as the game ended, all the players were heard saying this repeatedly, that tomorrow, because Virat Kohli asked ABD, you're coming tomorrow to Bengaluru. Till that time, were the permissions taken? I'm assuming not. That's not possible in such a short span of time. Within 30 minutes of the game getting over, you of course would not have taken the permissions. It would be a longer procedure. All I'm trying to say is that they were adamant. They would have done little bit of arm twisting via the government. The government would have, I'm not saying the government would have come under pressure, but that is exactly what the government also wanted.
Exactly my point.
It is the fault of the government. They should not have given the permission. But also that once the situation, you realize that it is getting out of hand, and you were so adamant to have it on the very next day. I think that has been the problem, where the players are wrong. The only place where the RCB team as a franchise is wrong, the only reason for that is that they should not have been adamant.
My point is, they are adamant, yes. Whether they are wrong on that or not is another debate. As I said, if say Punjab would have won the final, you would have been the happiest person. You would have said, I want to have a party in this studio with cake and whatever. That's this thing. But it is now my decision to take, should I allow you to have that party or not, right? Because I will be answerable to the admin department. How is a party allowed here when food is not allowed, drinks are not allowed inside? The buck stops on this. Supposing you do it, I can't be going there and say that, listen, he's a member of my team, his team had won, how could I stop him? That will be no justification, because I know what I have to do. Yeah. Eventually, RCB may want to do it for their reason, whether somebody wants to go abroad, not abroad, or they want to celebrate immediately, whatever it is the government and the police jointly. And I'm saying that also, I will even go, if you have a very honest, whatever, officer, DM, whatever, he will even go against the government. And there have been cases saying, no, I will not allow this, because under my watch, people will die. He's the expert. I will also blame the government who agreed. And now I was just reading, it has now been confirmed, a few media outlets, they just put out, they have accessed Karnataka Cricket Body's petition, which they have put because they were asked for questions. The cricket body has said that call for celebration was given by the government.
Yes.
They've written that it's the government who said he want to. Obviously, because they wanted to have their photo up. Obviously, they wanted to do it. Maybe RCB said, no, tomorrow is the only time we can make players available. Players will be leaving. Whatever it is. Government, police, if police also came under pressure from the government, the cops should have said, no boss, we can't handle, we are the experts, we know this will lead to a tragedy. But assuming that they succumb to the pressure, even then they are answerable.
But sir,
even the state government
I'm
is
saying
answerable.
all of the police is wrong, the government is wrong. I totally agree. The only point what I'm trying to make is that from the end of RCB, everything should have been closed net. I'm saying if everything went as per plan by the RCB management, if they had planned everything properly, I would not have questioned them. Because I cover sports, what I'm trying to say is that it could have been better planned. Even if despite all of the better planning, things would have gone south, then the government and the police would have been to be questioned. No, you did.
It's not
planning. You did not know how. See, it
franchise's
started
job.
with sir. But the event was to be managed in a better way. They were asked. They said that first come first serve entry. Then it changed to that ticket online coming. Then that is also
that is their blame. I'm not saying that the franchise. We are absolving the franchise. Their thing is the miscommunication that they sent out. There was
a communication error till 5 o'clock.
That's what I'm
will
trying to
there
say,
be a
that
bus
is,
parade or not? Will it be there? Will it not be there?
That is the issue for which the franchise will be questioned, and the franchise should be questioned for miscommunication. That's what I'm trying to say. In the larger scheme of things, there'll be many people who've done it, but is miscommunication the biggest factor why that thing happened? That's what I'm trying to say. Because right now everyone finds a scapegoat. Everyone is trying to look for a scapegoat. The government is finding a scapegoat in the police, saying they are responsible. They suspended cops. Cops are saying no, it's not our responsible. They have arrested RCB professional. I am saying I do not know that Nikhil Sosade from Adams. I don't even know that person. The thing is, what a franchise does, and I'm saying in any event that you do, a franchise's job is to get the players, organize the band, and what they're going to be doing players, that's all they have. The cops are there for a reason. It is their job. Where is the Stampede happened? On the street.
Yeah.
That is not something that a franchise can manage. It's beyond that. I'm going so far as to say not even the event manager, DNA, whichever is hired. Their job is to manage the event.
So, but the event was also not managed properly. Na? So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
But did the Stampede happen because the event inside was not managed properly? Why did the Stampede happen?
If there would not have been any free tickets thing,
so that's what I said.
If this would have been, I'm saying if RCB one night prior to the event would have clearly said that this is like they have it for the RCB unboxing, where they sell out the tickets. It's for 2K per ticket, and that's despite it being so expensive, the stadium is sold out. We never see that over there happening.
You can't be selling tickets for a
No, then you should not be. Then you should have made it clear that what is the procedure of entry.
Exactly.
Nobody over there knew how to
I'm saying that
enter
is the
the
problem
stadium.
that is the problem that
so
RCB
many
is done.
people came also because of that reason. Na?
Yes, but even if you had, let's say that miscommunication is there, let's say that communication was there from the start as well, that this is even then people will come. The people who came there was just to see a glimpse of their celebrity. If they went inside the stadium or not is also another thing. People, I'm saying the date was announced. We sitting here in the studio, I could tell you that 300,000 people will turn up. Doesn't matter whether they would have said so many tickets available at what price. 300,000 people were turning up. I was there at the ground. I don't think the administration or the setup that was made was enough to control 300,000 people. People were falling. There was not a single cop at the place where they were falling. And that is a complete failure of the administration led by the government or whatever. A franchise and all don't do it. And as I said, if you thought the time was less, you should have said, boss, no, we're not going. However, I will blame the players for one thing. And for that, I think the players 100% need to be blamed. Earlier, I did not think that, as I said, till I know 100% they were aware of the deaths, and they continued. I'm not going to say that because I was also there, even I was not aware while the celebration was on. Okay, so that I will give them benefit of the doubt till we get a clearer picture. But for what I will blame them is that I would have liked to have seen some players go to the hospital after the event.
Show some compassion.
Yes, after the event, once the event was cut short because you got to know by that time something has happened, I would have liked if a few players, if not on that day, maybe the next day, or the day after, whether it's a Virat Kohli, whether it is whoever, there's so many, there are local players there, there's a Dinesh Karthik, there's so many people there. I would have liked some of them to have gone to the hospital and seen those injured or people who are serious who've been admitted, or go meet next of kin of people who have died, because the fans came to see their favorite cricketers. And that is the one area, two areas where I will blame. One, the miscommunication by the franchise, that should have been better. And two, the players not going and visiting the injured and the next of kin.
And it is a collective failure in that. Because see, for these such events, firstly, I think RCB also had their private security over there, because they realized that this is how many people would turn up. And
private security is for inside, sir. They cannot, a private security cannot do anything outside.
I'm saying
on the
in the
road.
sense of
it's the
in the sense
jurisdiction of the cops.
entries and all of those. All I'm trying to say is that there was no clear planning, and that is only where I'm trying to blame the franchise
Okay.
and the event managers. And rightly so, the arrests have been made because it was a failure of managing the event. Also, you did not have time to actually.
How do I explain this to you, Shashwat? Event management's job is not to man crowds outside.
It is to manage the crowds inside.
It is not their job.
Now,
it is not the franchise's job to manage the thing outside. If you do a shadi, you hand it to somebody to do it. Okay, you give it to someone. And if the chandelier is there and it falls, it's the responsibility of the company that managed it and the banquet hall. Not the person who's booked it.
You cannot have a blind eye to everything that's happening around the stadium as well, right?
Exactly
a little
my
bit
point.
at least in some
But
radius.
where is the blind eye?
Sir, outside the stadium, I agree, it's the job of the police at
Where
the
is
end
the
of the
blind
day.
eye? Huh.
Outside, if there's nothing to be seen, there is no communication where the entry is. Where I'm saying, if a school also has an annual function, during that annual function, when they know that so many people are going to be arriving, they send their senior students to manage the traffic. Over there also, then we can say that police should be there.
They don't have that kind of personnel.
That-
Shashwat, why don't you understand that a function is happening? And RCB is not equipped to send people to manage traffic or whatever. That's not. Have you gone to a cricket match? When you go to a cricket match, who does? I go back to the police. And this is a fact. Police, and for those who are saying that police did not give permission or whatever, if the police didn't give permission, that event wouldn't have happened. Ahead of every IPL game, police asked for free tickets. If those free passes are not made available, they don't give permission for a match to happen. Why? Because the franchise is not equipped to conduct that match. The entry point of the tickets, the outside, the barricading, where the traffic needs to be stopped, how many cars are out in which area, in any part of the world. I was in Dubai covering the championship, in any part of the world. The people who run like ICC, for example, it was an ICC event. The people who run the ICC are only 20 people who are running the event. They are the organizers. They are inside the stadium ensuring whatever. The rest of it is in tune with the state there. So Dubai. So either they're paying money for the Dubai administration to do it, or whatever is the arrangement that they're saying, you bringing tourists. Everything, when I go to the street, where can the car come? There will be local cops telling you here. Where is the entry point? Local cops. You have to enter from here. Gate A is there, gate B is there, gate C is there. The people, ICC is only 20 people, same as RCB. DNA, RCB will be 20, 30 people. They cannot. It is left to the police. They are given compensation for that. They are asked to do it. You need to get permission. And that's why I'm saying, during a match, everything I'll name him also. Saurav Ganguly told me that, when he became an administrator, he said, I realize how tough it is. For every match you want to conduct. So CAB does. How many people are CAB? 20, 30, 40 people. Every match they have to conduct. They cannot conduct till the government is on board.
That is why they are hiring the police and the event managers.
Correct.
Right?
So even event team is very limited. Their job is to ensure entry kahan se, exit kahan se, sound chal raha hai, nothing. That's it. The whole thing is so massive, it is given to cops. So he said, I had to go and sit at police stations, and there are so many passes that they want. If once those passes are provided free, then they give permission, okay, we will come and do it. That is another thing altogether. But I'm saying, without the cops, none of these events happen. You have to see this, why I'm saying there will be events like this in the future as well. What will happen if you're going to bark up the wrong tree, or you're going to find the wrong culprit? From here on, franchises or teams, now even it will extend to Indian team also, will say, forget the ceremony.
Open bus parade. Yeah,
let us not do it. Forget it. Kyun lafda lena? We cannot do it. Let's not. What are we doing? I'm just saying, as a country, you want this to happen. Why should fans not be allowed to celebrate? Everywhere in the world it happens. Every team that wins, their fans want to celebrate. You may not be an RCB fan, but there are RCB fans who want to celebrate. They have the right to celebrate. What will this do if you start blaming a franchise or thing? Where they are at fault, you need to blame. But when you're going to do it now, every franchise will say, nothing doing, no road show, no celebration, do it. And what I'm saying is, you're regressing as a society. Instead of fixing what the problem is, you're saying, it's like what I'm saying, Mahakum, that event happened, now you will say, what are you going to say? The positive response will be, this was a mistake. We will ensure that we find the area where this mistake was. But let's not stop Mahakumbh, because there are so many devotees who want to come. Similarly, let's not stop these bus parades. Let's not stop fans getting a chance to see their thing. This is part, and parcel of sport. Every country in the world, every place they do it. It's not the franchise who does it. It is the authorities. If you're going to keep doing it from here on, every franchise, everyone will say, to hell
So
with
the
this.
BCCI also did it. BCCI also
will
did
also
it.
stop.
No,
They
but
will
they
also
also did
stop.
it there. They were. In fact, I would go on
But
and say I
can
think
I
there were
say,
more
Shah-
people over there.
Yeah, so
but it was
that-
much better planned.
No, it wasn't much better.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll tell you.
There was a specific.
I'll tell you one thing,
specifically
okay?
for that purpose only.
No.
That from there to there, they'll go in that.
We
open
are all missing three basic things here, okay? We are in a country where three pers get the easiest criticism, okay? It's a lazy way of criticism. Police, Patrakar, Prashasan. Any major thing happens, blame it on these three pers. Everything, it's just like that.
Nobody's wearing pattakars this time.
There are some who are saying, oh,
Patrakars
how...
are blaming.
Patrakars are blaming the relevant stakeholders also, and they're also getting called out for it, okay? But again, in the history of organizing major victory parades, RCB have broken new ground. Which franchisee has organized a victory parade in a city 15 and a half hours after they have done it? People might be calling out Gautam Gambhir's hypocrisy. Oh, but he also had a victory parade in 2012.
No, he isn't hypocrite here. 2012 when KKR won their maiden title, they had an open bus ceremony, and obviously, you know, whatever had happened at the Eden Gardens, it was one day after they had won. 27th of May, they won the title.
What was the hurry over there? What was the hurry over here?
But then-
GT also did
but
it
then
after
he was
they
part
won.
of that victory parade, no?
Yeah,
But then why is he saying there should be no victory parade?
No, he said it for 2007 also. He was part of that as well.
exactly.
But once the team is there, then he cannot be the only person not being there, right? If left to him, what he said was that if left to me, I'm not fan of that. I was not fan of it in 2007, neither in 2012. Left to me, I wouldn't want to have it. But then he cannot,
But
if he's
even
the
that's
captain,
not fair.
such a...
I'm just saying, if he does not want to have it or whatever, that, or like for example, there are fans. I'm sure there are more than 300,000 fans of RCB. Some may not believe in victory celebration. They didn't come. But what about the ones who want to?
Okay.
No, he's saying that if left, that's why he was there now, because
was
he
his
realized
personal opinion,
that
na?
is his personal opinion, that I would, if I am the person deciding, I wouldn't do
But
it.
that's unfair, no? Because if you are a deciding person, you're making it do. What about 300,000 people who want to see it?
No, but GT also did it in
You
Ahmedabad.
do it.
Last year KKR did it, but after 3
Yeah.
days.
3 days.
GT did it when they won the IPL for the very first
No, I
time.
agree that it was rushed, Siddharth.
Rush.
But then who is going to say no? As
Okay.
I said, I would want to do it quickly. Whether I have no time, players are going, whatever, I want to do
So,
it.
your
You have to say,
ultimate
government has to say, no,
scapegoat,
we
your
can't allow it.
ultimate scapegoat and the ultimate blame
Is the government?
has to be the fan and the franchisee.
If we say fan, you cannot.
No, you have to see for one simple
Fan
reason.
cannot be the.
Main culprit number one has to be RCB, because
RCB or RCB fans.
RCB main culprit number one,
Franchise as a whole.
franchisee as a whole, anybody included in this, because they were the ones who put out that social media post irresponsibly despite being denied permission. Oh, there are free online tickets.
No,
Okay.
which permission was denied to them, Siddharth?
The open bus parade.
No, open bus parade for online tickets.
No, there was no permission
No,
denied.
there was
You get
nothing
your
regarding
facts
that.
right.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
only thing that they were denied was
the
an
open
open
bus
bus parade.
parade.
So my
Yeah.
point is, did the open bus parade happen?
No, but did the free online tickets happen?
No.
Yes.
Then why? Free.
Arre,
Free.
But that's not the permission that was denied, no?
Free.
Open
But
bus
sir,
parade is
open
a
bus
different
parade
thing,
online
and that's a
ticket.
different thing.
Open
na?
Open bus
online
parade till a
tickets.
point was not allowed since the very beginning. Open bus parade was clear, no, but
So
they
if
still
it
tried
is-
to make it happen, and they tried.
You're getting, whether anyone tried or not, did the open bus parade happen?
Okay. Okay.
Did the open bus
But
parade
people,
happen?
It didn't
no,
happen.
but
Okay.
people were of
A
the
very
impression that
token
it will,
thing,
and
it
so
didn't
many
happen.
people
But
came
then
because of that
is-
reason also.
Sure, but did
Yeah.
it happen? So I'm saying
No, it
no,
did
you
not
are saying-
happen. But you are giving the impression to the fans, and you know that more people will turn up.
See, why I'm talking
not
about the
related
permission
anything to
bit,
the open
okay?
bus parade, na?
I'm talking about the permission bit because why did they decide to say on social media, free online tickets? Why did that
Because
happen?
that's what they did.
That is the first part. You allowed the crowd swell to happen. You know when you get free kiss, everything you get here, you know what kind of anarchy and chaos it will happen in this
Siddharth,
country.
I tell you one thing, even if they had not written that, no, I'm telling you, I knew that, forget the ticket, whatever. As soon as you were going to have a celebration, 300,000 people were coming. Without doubt.
Okay.
What did Bangalore do with before even RCB putting out a tweet? I saw pictures. it was like New Year's, it was like Diwali. I saw those pictures. As soon as they won, the whole city was celebrating. As soon as you're going to have celebrations, whether you have free ticket, selling tickets, this ticket, that ticket, 300,000 people were coming. That's what I'm saying, that everything that I'm a franchise. I want the moon. I want X, Y, Z, whatever. It's up to you to give me permission. Whatever you gave me permission for, and eventually police only gave permission for 2 places. Vidhan Soda and Stadium. And that's where it happened. So everything that the police did not give them permission for, it did not happen.
Did the police have an option?
No, I'll tell you.
Did the police have an option?
I'm saying yes, they had the option.
They couldn't
Sir
have.
has given examples of people where they have...
Yes.
Are you telling me RCB tells what police to do? And if that is the case...
No.
That does not happen. But my
Excuse me. This government and this era all relies upon populism. Karnataka is the classic case of it. Forget RCB flags. What right did the politicians have in sending Karnataka pride flags there? First have a significant Kannadiga population in your team, then talk about Karnataka pride. This government and everything that is related to major events is on populism. And the fans,
I agree.
The fans at this point in time, you have to understand, use common sense. Bengaluru is not an open city. Chinnaswamy, you look at it, it's not an open ground.
The only thing,
the crowd swell.
If people would have known since the very beginning that it's going to be 2 things. It's either going to be first at the CM's residence and then at the stadium. There is no situation of a bus parade in that sense.
Your common sense went for a toss.
It is gone for, see, it goes for games, it goes for the unboxing event as well. As soon as you tell them that there will be an open bus parade, automatically more people would want to turn up. So many people would not have turned up if there would have been no...
Do you know where the open bus parade was first? That's why you need to know the open bus parade was from Vidhan Soda to Stadium.
Yeah.
Which is from here to DLF Mall.
Yeah.
Second, let me
kilometers.
Let me finish. Where did the Stampede happen?
Chinnaswamy.
So it did not happen on the way where people lined up for bus parade. This was for people who wanted to get inside the stadium. It has nothing to do with open bus parade. Open bus parade permission was refused. Whether there was confusion or not is not the thing. It did not happen. Yes, if open bus parade permission was refused and they still took it out, despite police saying no, then it's another matter. Whatever the 2 permissions that were given, and that's where people are confusing, that when the open bus parade was not allowed, why did the RCB go ahead? RCB cannot even move a patta without the permission of the police. The 2 places they were given permission, Vidhan Soda and Chinnaswamy Stadium, that's where it happened. And just to the point of what Siddharth is saying, that RCB pressurized or whatever, the thing is, if RCB's influence worked, they would have wanted an open bus parade, which they had prepared the buses.
Absolutely.
They was parked inside. They didn't get it. Cops till the last moment said, nothing doing. You're not going to get it.
Because I'll tell you why. In 15.5 hours, it was not possible to arrange such kind of logistical arrangements.
So
it was
say
not possible.
no. Say no. The cops.
How?
It's the buck
Because
stops with the administration.
I will tell
the
you
DM,
why.
The cop has to say no.
Your 3 lakh people will influence 30 lakh people, will influence 3 crore people, because they will then say, how dare you deny permission for a victory parade? Okay? How dare you deny permission to us that we cannot celebrate our 18 years of glory that has happened?
Or will it also be the case of...
They deserve to celebrate.
No, they deserve to celebrate not the very next day. They were allowed to celebrate on Sunday.
You say, you have the authority, your police say, not giving you permission. If the cops had said no...
They have every right to celebrate.
RCB and the government...
Then they say no. They can't celebrate. They can't even land in Bengaluru. Finish.
No, will it also be the case of incompetency? Let's say
it isn't incompetency.
Government could not really arrange it.
It's exactly the
I
point.
think that would
people
be
will say.
How can anybody arrange it in 15.5 hours? You cited all the other cases.
I agree with you, Siddharth. They cannot.
They can't.
If I tell you to do something that, in 1 hour, write me a 2000 article, it cannot be done, right? What are you going to say? I can't do it.
You know what?
You will say I can't do it.
There's a very interesting parallel. No, we can't. I'll tell you why. Because you are an authority who's given me an unreasonable amount of time to write this, okay?
Sure.
Now, in 1 hour, I would have fulfilled your 2000 words. But the quality would have gone down.
Yes.
But then, I am caught between listening to my superior and adhering to a timeline. This is what happened with the cops. Cops come under state government in Karnataka. RCB won. You found out at 11:30. You know the bureaucratic system, how it works. They would have sought permission. Cops, sources have told India Today also, and I also told Sports Today that yes, they wanted it to happen on a weekend. That is what they are saying. But it couldn't have happened. How dare you delay 2 days? How dare you? That means you are incompetent. Now the government is like wanting to say face here. Here we can't be called incompetent. This is a catch-22. Catch-22 in the sense,
exactly,
the opposition would have rallied upon them saying,
that's your decision making. That's where the decision making comes in.
Decision making
Sound
influenced
decision
by the
making.
people.
But you cannot take populist measure. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The buck stops with you, Siddharth. You said you can do it in 1 hour. You will do a substandard stuff. I'm putting myself in your position. If I can,
you are Karnataka government, I'm police at this
I
point.
will let my superior know at that time that in 1 hour, if you ask me to do, I will do a very average job. I will do. Are you okay to carry an average? If he thinks he's going to do an average thing, you carry it. But myself, because my byline is going to be there, my name is going to be there, I pride myself in the way I work. I want to do a good job of it. Instead of 1 hour, give me 8 hours, and in 8 hours I will produce a good thing that will go. I will stick to my gun. I gave an example yesterday, and this is a life lesson that I heard from Sam Manekshaw, where he said one of the best thing is to learn to say no when you cannot do, and that is a sign of a good administrator or person. He was, as I said, Indira Gandhi asked him that such and such day we have to do it. He said, no, I can't be going to war now. And he said at that time, anybody in my place would want to please the superior by saying yes. But what would have happened? We would have gone to it, we would have been underprepared, and we would have faced a
That
backlash.
is the problem.
So what did he do? He said, no, I can do it. But he gave a solution. He did not say, we cannot. He said, okay, I can, but you need to give me a couple of months. I'll prepare myself. We'll be better prepared. That's the job of the authority. That's why I'm saying, whether the pressure was from RCB or the government or whatever, the authority there, the DM or SP, DSP, whoever says, no, I can't do it. And if they are honest officers or whatever, come out and say it in the media that we were pressurized, the government pressurized us. Then the buck stops with the government as well as the cops. Come and say it that we didn't want to do it. We got pressurized by the government because they wanted photo ops.
So what worked in Sam Manekshaw's case, at least Indira Gandhi listened with patience.
Yeah.
Did the government have pressure? And we are talking about a culture of subordination in this country. We generally cannot question superiors. This is a cultural problem that is there.
So now mention it. My point is this.
Yeah.
If that was the case, now they are under the pump.
Yes.
Then I would want the cops to come out and tell us the true story.
Exactly.
Why, if they didn't want it, why did they then finally give their approval? Because without their approval, it cannot happen. Okay, they got pressurized. I can buy that. They got
by
pressurized.
two entities, they got pressurized.
No. RCB though should not be counted. How can, if you are getting pressurized by RCB, then you're incompetent. You're an nincompoop because they're not your superiors. If they come out and say it, and if they've succumbed to that pressure, then it is a damning indictment of
there
police.
is high. We all know that whenever there is a major
private entity, sir.
a private entity can have influence in various corridors of government.
No, Siddharth, you don't let them have matches. All IPL franchises, go speak to them if your tickets don't come. So don't tell me any police authority in this country succumbs to the
police.
IPL franchise.
You have
IPL
highlighted
franchises are begging the cops.
You have highlighted a brilliant case of police corruption that has existed in the country.
They might have succumbed to the government, but the point is why they agreed to it. The only reason that I can think of here is that they wanted to show that they are heroes, but in return, what happened was that they turned out to be incompetent.
You fell for
poor judgment. That's a poor judgment.
You fell for the easiest trap in trying to please the fans. Fans in India who have no civic sense, who are responsible for stampedes over and over and over again. There are 4 basic things to every stampede whenever it happens. Lack of communication, crowd swell, that's 2 of them. The third thing which you are saying is authorities cannot do it there. They freeze. Authorities freeze.
Can I say one thing before you have a rant on your fans, which you will? Please tell me, because I've also heard that fans would this and fans are not sober and fans. Please tell me which fans are sober, which fans don't celebrate in which part of the world? Tell me.
Yeah.
Fans are going to be like this. So let's not
So,
blame the fans
you-
for being
you were-
boisterous.
you were
They're
against-
like that in every part of the world.
You
That's
had
what fans are supposed
you had
to
said
be.
in one program, okay, whenever we go to Europe, whenever you want to tackle football hooligans, there is a riot police. In India, your proportion of police in respect to people is the lowest in every metro city you
No,
go.
but Siddharth, no, not for match situation. That's for general administration in the city. But I think the number of cops, and I've seen it, the number of cops that you see in stadiums, and there are big enough football stadiums that accommodate 50, 60, 100,000 people also,
Yes.
right? The number of security personnel I've seen there are less than the ones that I see here. There are far too many security people here on a match situation. Yes. You're talking about general administration in a town.
Yeah.
Yes, the police to people ratio is low. But 300,000 people turning up Buenos Aires, where Argentina won, there were 5 million people here on the
Yes.
streets.
I don't know how they did it.
But they did it.
They did it.
Because they are organized.
Either they didn't allow the hooliganism to prosper. I think there was.
And if there are any
And how
fans
many?
that can be
But how many
hooligans,
days later did Argentina go back?
I don't know.
About
maybe
3-4 days?
Yeah, maybe in a couple of days.
So at least they planned it better. In this case, your franchisee and your government, state government, were not patient. Jaldi kar do, yaar. Players might want to leave. There are other commitments
Players
also.
did leave.
Players did leave. And
next day.
Very utopian. Players should have gone to the hospital.
I'm saying
And do what?
Way too much advice. Sir,
No,
at this point.
and do
Nobody's
what?
saying anything about it. Everybody is tight-lipped about it. Now you're saying that a statement was released by RCB. Everybody's commented on that.
Yeah.
That is okay. But personally, when everybody has a voice for everything and all of these things,
Your Indian cricket player is conveniently can't see, can't hear, can't speak. There was only one man in the entire establishment, when you look at it, who defied all of that. And we all know what the B-side did with him. And even Nikhil will know him. Bishan Singh Bedi. Bishan Singh Bedi was the one who said, I will speak, I will see, I will hear. Rest of them are all yes men. This current bunch is so dumbed down.
What has that got to do with the Stampede?
I'll tell you why.
because nobody came out and said anything about it.
I think there are two
Say
points.
anything about,
See, I think there are two points
the Stampede.
associated
Everyone
with
has
it.
put a statement out.
Just a statement. But you're
It is
expecting,
a common statement that everybody has put out.
So
there is nothing else that
and that too
somebody has
quoting
said.
an RCB statement.
Yeah.
That which came 6-7 hours later.
Yeah.
And you're expecting them to visit a hospital for the fans.
See,
Yeah, they should.
How?
Absolutely. See,
There you know what will happen.
They
I'll
should.
tell you another logistical
I'll
nightmare.
tell you 2 points. Okay.
Yeah.
One is, first of all, from what I can infer for all the discussions that we have had and what has happened in the last 2 days, one is that the buck has to stop with the government. They have to be questioned as to how they gave the necessary approvals for the event to happen, and at the end it turned out to be a disaster. And secondly, I think this is a request to the fans, I would make here, that stay detached from cricket. The point is that all these cricketers, I don't think they care about you. The point is, all of them, they want, every bit of that fandom. But when it comes to them raising voice for all of you, I think they are not really doing it. And that's what they haven't really done if this incident is to be taken into consideration. So for all the fans who are watching this, I would say just stay detached from cricket, because all these cricketers, they want every bit of fandom. They want all kind of attention from all of us. But when it comes to, raising your voice for all the things that the fans really go through when it comes to visiting the stadiums, for all the poor infrastructure there is at the stadiums, poor washrooms, poor food quality, and all the things that, we have talked at length in our various discussions, just stay
That can't
So
detached.
happen.
detached to cricketers, not cricket. Stay detached to cricketers,
yeah,
not
cricketers.
to cricket.
No, but
because
you know
cricket will
what,
give you
this-
what you are
I
expecting
don't think
from
they
it.
care about the fans.
You should,
No,
yeah.
Siddharth,
Yeah.
it's not a lot. She also have to understand. Again, I give you an example. If you're working, right, and there is a policy that you have to follow, if you want to earn your bread and butter, you cannot be going outside the policy. If there will be a social media policy that the company will have, you'll have to abide by it. So
Agreed.
it's very easy said than done. In this country, even players associations are not allowed. Players are not allowed to speak. They're not allowed to give interviews. Do you know that?
Yes.
So if they have a
agree.
career to look after, any player, and I'm just saying, the problem lies with the BCCI that ensures that such things are there. If you speak, there was a situation when a player comes back from the tour, he's been sent on exile. The day a player puts out something on social media, he'll never be picked. And there have been cases of players that have happened. Yes, once you retire, you do it. And by the way, even in retirement, players can't do it because they don't get commentary work and all. Then you should be fair. Then you should be, as a society, take criticism and don't hurt their livelihood. But what you do is you hurt their livelihood. In a scenario like that where people have, rents to pay, bills to pay, families to run, whether they're current players, they have a dream that they want to play. They're not going to antagonize anyone and put a statement out. They may feel like that, but they know they can't put it out. Because our ecosystem
then they should not be. That's absolutely fine. And they should not take all the fandom and say stuff like that. These are what the fans make us and all of these things. I totally understand. They don't want to give interviews. They don't want them.
They cannot. It's not that they don't want to.
I'm talking about the franchise. They don't want the players to give interviews. The BCCI.
Not franchise. He's talking about in general.
In general,
they don't
BCCI.
speak about stadiums. They don't talk about facilities. They cannot. They will not be playing for India.
They don't even want to give interviews. They don't want to give their
got anything to do with interviews, bhai.
No. In generally, they don't want to put anything out because all of them have their own content teams also. RCB would not want.
No, again, it's got nothing to do with the content team. You're not hearing what he's saying. He's saying that they should raise red flags whenever they see something. There is nothing. So he's not talking about content teams or anything. They cannot raise those red flags because raising those red flags will be going against the administration. They can't do that. Yeah. They are not in a position to
But the point here is that I'm trying to agree. I completely agree with whatever you have said. They have their families to take care of. They have to pay the bills. There are rents and all that stuff.
Their career.
Yeah, their career for that matter. I agree. But the point is that when it comes to fandom, they want every bit of it. And, all these social media things that, happen, they put out a statement whenever something bad happens. Now, what do you do in such kind of a situation if you are a fan? See, there are people, in some families who have lost their children in that particular stampede. At that, in those hospitals, what would they be thinking? That, we have probably given our very best to this country, to the cricketers, we have loved them. The least that probably they could have done is that they could have come and maybe met
all
this.
I said that
and
they should have done
them not
that.
doing it, I think that is
you can't do it for one simple reason.
Big problem.
Yeah, it is.
So if RCB is absolutely,
we are forgetting two basic things. You are living in a regressive environment that the BCCI has created in, okay? Players can't, they are like puppets, they just can't do anything on their own, okay? Second, if the players had come to the hospital where they were, knowing the Indian psyche, all the people who were there in the hospital would have caused even more trouble to the patients. Why? Oh, selfie sir. They would have just been
that would not have happened.
It will happen.
It cannot happen if someone is dying there, someone's near and dear.
This is India, my friend. This is India. You've seen worse horrors.
Bigger politicians go.
Even if that happens, that should not deter players not going. Those are repercussions.
It can't happen. We are all making the mistake that India is a utopia. Oh, that this should happen. India is a dystopia, my friends. India is a dystopia, and we cannot even imagine these. There are horror stories which will be played out. I'm telling you, players, they themselves would have been wondering what to do. They will all be coming, oh, selfie sir, and they would have caused such ruckus in the hospitals wherever they would have gone. The fans, I'm telling, and even the people involved there. We have to understand one basic thing. Bengaluru, the Stampede teaches us the one most difficult thing that a people has to do. Responsible. Be responsible. Responsible independence. Just because I'm independent, I can't be anarchic and start destroying things. In India, no one understands responsible independence. And we are all saying, oh, we are doing it for the fans. Fans are ultimate. Fans are king. Excuse me. Fans and customers are king only in hospitality industry. It's not in sports. I'm sorry. Please take that thing out of your mind and chuck it in the dustbin. Fans have to be responsible. If you fall for that trap that RCB laid out through that post, then you yourself have to be blamed. I will call out even those people who brought kids along for that also.
But Siddharth, fans are fans for a reason. You may not be a fan, so you're not feeling it. A fan will go.
I know, okay, but he has to be prepared then for this.
You at whatever 30 plus is in a situation where he doesn't want to. Maybe a 16, 17-year-old fan would have probably gone to see a young Sachin Tendulkar if he was there, even though there was crowd, you would do it. That's what fans do, and that's how they are passionate.
But
you can't say don't celebrate your cricket.
No.
Don't be like fans.
Then you
Then
have
they're
to
not
expect
fans.
all this. Then expect all this.
No, Siddharth. Just because you're fans, nothing justifies anybody dying. We need to have better systems in place. I'm sorry.
Again,
Every
how
fan
can
has
we?
been
It
part
is
of
that
the-
if a fan is going to celebrate, he
Then
should
he
be
needs to
scared
accept,
about the
yeah, I will
fact.
die.
Yeah, that you have
You
to
are-
going on your life
He's
and
not going on a border to fight.
Yeah.
See,
that is a little too much.
All this talk about a trillion economy and everything, it's not visible on the ground. I'm sorry. It has happened in hospital, it has happened in railway stations, it has happened in railway congregations. You don't have standard SOPs to manage crowd. If you are a developed country, you need to have a separate right of way. You know what is the right of way? No signals, only a straight route from where the accident has happened or any kind of thing for ambulances, fighting machines and every other thing. But you don't have that. There is no SOP to manage crowd. And that shows where you are as a nation. You are
I agree.
You are not a
But you
developed
can't blame-
nation at
yes,
all.
but you can't blame fans. for
Fans also, because see, you go to a major mela, you go to a major market, you have the fear of life for you. Anything can happen. Because there is nothing to control crowds in this country. And once you fall for free things, if there are cheap tickets or free things which are there, a stampede will occur. Look at what happened in Telangana. Look at what happened when Allu Arjun movie was released. Look at Kumbh
He was
Mela.
arrested there.
He was arrested then, he was the organizer, so he was arrested then at that point in
But
time.
he was arrested because he did not
You know,
know.
the problem in our country is exactly this. It happens in everywhere. We will always go after the biggest name, and that's why everyone will go after Virat Kohli. He had nothing to do with this organization or anything. It's like when Sushant Singh murder happened. We went after the big names, Deepika Padukone, this, that. Eventually, when you look at facts, then you realize you actually deal with where the problem was. And this is, I'm guessing, same with Allu Arjun thing. You went after the biggest name that was without actually looking at where are the lapses, why is it happening. So also in terms of media, stories won't sell, debates won't sell if you don't have the biggest name. So everyone will put a Virat Kohli picture to discuss that. But if you look at it very practically, in a pragmatic manner, you would want to reach the area where, why is it happening. Stars will always be there. Today there's a Virat, tomorrow there'll be X, Y, Z. Fans will always be there. Today for RCB, tomorrow for others, franchises. This celebrations will continue. You need to find the right way of handling this, and our system actually can't take it, and that's an issue that we have, that you need to repair.
What are the cruxes that we have come to this conclusion when you look at it? You are hard pressed for time. Lesson number 1, never hold things in haste. Because in 15 and a half hours of a victory, it is impossible to hold a victory parade which is thousands of miles away, where you initially won. It's impossible. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, okay? Knowing Bengaluru, if people had the sense how the stadium and the nearby areas are, a crowd swell would have resulted in deadly consequences. Any kind of crowd swell. For example, if we go from here to DLF Mall, okay, on a normal day on the road, there will be about 150, 200 on one particular part. Imagine if that swells to 600. Won't you feel the stress that, okay, something might go wrong. The bridge might collapse, or you might go into the this thing that is there, the river that is there. Anything could happen. So, lesson number 2 in that is, you rode on populism. The government is responsible for that. They allowed it to be influenced by other entities. RCB primarily are at fault because they put out that post of free tickets, and they did not anticipate that the crowd would swell to such an extent where
I'm
even...
sure they anticipated it.
But then...
It's not their job to do that. That's
then-
the state police. If you can't handle it, say no.
But the
And
state
they went
police,
whatever.
their hands were tied. Because they would have faced incompetency claims from both sides.
Who tied their hands.
Which will soon happen. But as I know, with the elite VIP culture in this country, government and major private entities will just... That's what they will do. And cops who have been suspended, who told them not to be done, they'll be the soft targets.
They're not soft targets. I'm sorry. They were incompetent on the day. I saw that from up close.
I want to
They were all there were more security guards on the VIP gate from where I entered There were hundreds of them. And what were they doing? Ensuring that the VIP cars enter properly.
So, but that's,
फिर
that's
भी
the
दिल
case
है
everywhere.
हिंदुस्तानी.
That's incompetence. If it's everywhere means it's incompetence. Each gate where there are thousands of people, there are 1/3 of those policemen. Then that's incompetence.
Which is why.
If it's everywhere doesn't mean it's fine. It's a problem.
Which is why
We need
ऐसा
to rectify
ऐसा
that.
देश है मेरा. We are still imbibed in VIP culture. Let me be very, very honest about it. In most parts of the country, this VIP culture exists. Once in Madhya Pradesh, 2 hours traffic was held up.
You know, just where the gates of the stadium are, people have climbed the trees.
Yeah, exactly.
I've shown you that.
Exactly.
Under normal circumstances, if I'm the cop there, I'll tell them, get down, man, you can die. The branch can fall, it can fall on some 500 people down. It's a disaster waiting to happen. No issue. They're in front of them. This is the gate, there are cops here, they are climbing, they're sitting there. Not once you are telling them to come down or showing your danda, nothing. You are bothered, okay, the car should enter properly. Whichever car is coming, the people are sitting there.
So,
which country allows that?
There is
VIP
something happening
culture.
to the VIP, then everybody
So
over will say
5,000
that-
cops.
That
to-
fix
if
it.
VIPs aren't safe, then how
I'm
normal
not
people
I'm
will
not
be
an
safe.
expert in that now. If
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
done my training and become a cop, then I would learn all the SOPs of how to handle.
Okay, so essentially, I would love to know in a case study how there were initially 5,000 cops, but 2,000 in VIP security alone. 3,000 cops managing 3 lakh or 4 lakh
Everywhere,
people.
Siddharth. Everywhere in the world, they manage it. That's how
Yes.
it is. You can't have the same number of cops as the fan. Doesn't happen anywhere.
It
in the
can't
world.
happen.
You can go to Bernabeu in Real Madrid. I've been
Yeah.
there. Also, 100,000 people come in. The cops are 1/3 of what you see here.
Yes.
They manage it.
But then, okay, in Europe, South America also, there have been instances
And
of
people will say, don't compare India to Europe. I'm not comparing you. Everyone keeps saying now we are ahead of Japan, this trillion
Nothing,
economy.
nothing.
We are Vishwa Guru, we are this, we are that. So
Until
every one
and
of you
unless you
say
do-
we are the best in the world.
we in India, our value is a dime by the dozen for life. Our value for life in India is dime by a dozen. It's not a dollar, it is not a rupee by a dozen. Unless you get that mentality, then and only then we'll be a developed nation. Otherwise, these kind of stampedes, any sporting event, any religious event, any major travel destination, if this happens, you cannot call yourself a developed country. I'm sorry about it. You can't. Governments have been incompetent in these kind of situations. They will continue to be incompetent. But then, who takes the onus to be smart? I'm asking. The pandos. Who are the pandos? The Latin for the public. Please have responsible independence and behave responsibly. Common sense. Just don't go behind a particular thing. I went there, I got my selfie moment, I got my story moment, I got my meme
That
moment.
is also a very half of the people want the best shot.
Exactly.
Because everybody is a content creator.
In the era of best shots,
No, that nothing's wrong, but that is also another thing.
in
that
the era of
contributes
best shots, 11 people died. Okay, so if you want common sense, which is the basic I'm asking for, the most difficult thing, by the way, in this country, common sense, have that next time onwards.
Okay, any comments before we wrap up? Anybody thought they wanted to say something? We missed out.
No, just a collective failure. I think everybody is equally wrong, according to me.
Okay, on that note, we're going to bring this edition of the Dugout to an end. Pretty heated one at that. But what we would want is, we're not taking your questions today because we are recording this as we speak. So do send in your comments in the comment section. We'll try and take some of the comments in our next Dugout, and possibly post some of those comments on our feed. So do let us know in the comment section, what do you make of this entire situation? Would you agree with, disagree with? We'd love to hear that. Take care. Bye bye.
Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables.
And don't trouble your mothers.
Which you do all the time.